Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout. Hellboy 3. Ron Perlman thinks fans deserve sequel, but isn't eager to make it. That's the topic of this video, but before I jump into this, before I jump into these juicy details for a possible third installment of the Hellboy franchise, just go on over, click subscribe, comment, like, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so I'm over here at comicbook.com, and if you remember, Hellboy stars Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman, he's kind of a maniac in real life, but as far as acting goes, he's a fantastic character actor. Started his career uh, in it was a Beauty and the Beast TV show in the late '80s, and his co-star was Linda Hamilton. Really great. He was in Chronos, which is a new kind of a fresh take on the vampire movie. He's been in a lot of films, ton of films. I mean, he's probably the only other person who works more than him. Is probably Samuel L. Jackson. He's in 3 to 5 movies a year. I'm not kidding. Go on his IMDb. It is crazy. The man will, if you're willing to pay him, he'll be in it, regardless of the quality. I personally, out of all of his work, I think Hellboy is actually a really, really good movie. The first one is okay. I give it maybe like a C plus. But Hellboy 2, I thought, was funny. The action was great. The visual effects, the practical effects, the makeup, the real suits that everybody wore with the makeup and everything, I thought was fantastic. Even though number 2 wasn't that profitable, I would give Hellboy 2 definitely a B plus or an A minus. Definitely worthy of getting a third installment, and I hope they make this thing. Ever since Ron Perlman made his live-action debut as Hellboy back in 2004, man, I can't believe it was that long ago, fans haven't been able to get enough of the performer embracing the spirit of the comic book character. Very true. And while he admits his age is preventing him from being excited to ever make a third film with Guillermo del Toro, he does admit that closing out a trilogy is something that the fans of the franchise deserve, with each live-action Hellboy movie being relatively underwhelming financially, and the 2019 reboot starring David Arbor also being a critical disaster. I remember watching that trailer to the new Hellboy with David Arbor. David Arbor is an actor. He's a good actor. He plays, I believe, Sheriff Hopper in the Netflix hit series Stranger Things. He's a good actor, but I just don't think he looked right with the makeup on. He looked like a more sinister kind of like horror movie version of Hellboy. Ron Perlman, he kind of has like a comedic, just strange look anyway, and with that makeup on, he looked more lovable, and he didn't look as threatening and just scary and dark as David Arbor did. And he also played it more comedically than David Arbor. So, but yeah, it was a disaster. It's hard to imagine a studio agreeing to take such a financial risk, but a Perlman and Del Toro reunion would be just what fans are waiting for. Am I eager to do Hellboy 3? No, I'm 71 effing years old. Perlman joked with The Independent. Now, he's 71 years right now, and I'm guessing that Guillermo del Toro hasn't even written the treatment to Hellboy 3. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe he has. But I would guess he probably hasn't. So by the time that is written, the script is finalized, pre-production has concluded, and they finish filming, Perlman will probably be like 75 years old, and that's if they start like right now working on this thing. I mean, that's pretty old to be running around and playing an action hero. We owe this to the fans, and we should give it to them because it would be an epic conclusion. So, Guillermo, if you're reading, I'm not done pounding you. I'm not done pounding you to get this effing thing done. After the debut of the original Hellboy, Del Toro earned immense acclaim for his work, on the film Pan's Labyrinth. In my opinion, that's his best film. It's a really good. It's in Spanish. It's subtitled. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. I would definitely watch that if you haven't. Allowing him the opportunity to deliver audiences Hellboy 2, The Golden Army in 2008. Much like the first film, the sequel earned a passionate following and positive critical reactions, but failed to earn enough of a return at the box office to warrant a third film. Interestingly, 2008 also saw the debut of Iron Man, kicking off the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. With each passing year, more comic book films were being released, and each one earned stronger responses than superhero stories from subsequent years. In this regard, it seemed as though Hellboy was primed to make a comeback. This prediction did ultimately come true, but instead of there being another Pearlman Del Toro collaboration, director Neil Marshall was tapped to reboot the concept with Arbor starring. Fans of the character were cautiously optimistic, given Arbor's talents seen in Stranger Things, yet they were still disappointed the project was missing Pearlman. Completely agree. It was just a bad miscast, in my opinion. When the reboot was ultimately released, Marshall didn't even attend the premiere. Wow, that's pretty bad. When the director doesn't even go to the premiere, that's not good. Reportedly due to studio interference on the project behind the scenes, with the film ultimately earning 19% positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty bad. I mean, I think the movie The Room was considered one of the worst films ever made, and Troll 2, I think they have higher positive reviews than this, so that's pretty bad. In the years since the reboot was released, Perlman's latest comments are some of the most supportive of his willingness to conclude the trilogy is only for fans and not for his own interests. Stay tuned for updates. Well, we will stay tuned for updates on this. What do you think? Do you think that there should be a final third chapter of the Ron Perlman, Guillermo del Toro, Hellboy series? Or do you think 2 movies is good? They need to just recast it again, try to do a reboot? What's your opinion on it? Or should they just go for it? I think they should go for it. I think they should make Hellboy 3. If there's one thing Hollywood cannot do, it is do a reboot. So don't even try. Just do a third installment. Be done with it. Maybe another 10 years. Hollywood will get out of this insane cycle they're in, and they'll be able to tell stories again. But until then, just make a third one. Anyways, thanks for listening. And if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, click subscribe. Later.